What's up guys, Big Willie here, and I wanted to give you all 30 amazing tips and tricks that I've learned throughout my 200 hours of playing Schedule 1. Now, a lot of these are pretty unknown, so make sure you stick around to the end, and if there's something you think I missed, be sure to leave it in the comments to let other players know. I'm just starting out on YouTube, so if you want to do me a favor and help me grow, make sure to click that subscribe button. Now let's get into it. If you've played more than 2 hours into this game, you probably know that the starting trailer eventually blows up. But in order to maximize your starting income, you can actually take all of the equipment with you before it explodes into a fiery mess. Just make sure you grab it before you collect all of the cash from the dead drops, because that's the objective that triggers the trailer exploding. The police in this game are actual toddlers. They lack any sense of object permanence. For example, if you're being chased, all you have to do is jump in a dumpster and they forget you even existed. And for some reason, if you aren't looking at them, you can actually get a lot closer to them without being spotted. But if you don't like the idea of running backwards, you can just do what I did and park a car in front of their patrol route. Now, I don't know why the cops don't just look around the van. They really are just dumb. But instead of having to avoid police, what if you just never had to deal with them in the first place? If you put a Veeper in front of the police station door early in the morning, the cops get boxed in and can't even leave the station. Wait, is that Benji? One of the most frustrating things in Schedule 1, in my opinion, is grinding XP to get that ingredient you need to make a new mix. But there's actually a relatively easy way to get XP pretty fast. You probably know by now that you get 20 XP for completing a deal, and an additional 10 XP for every deal one of your dealers completes. But you can actually get XP from aggroing cops, and then successfully losing them. This is super easy to abuse by just waving a switch in their face, and then using the tip from before and jumping into your nearest dumpster like Oscar the Grouch. You can keep doing this over and over and over and over to rack up insane amounts of XP. This one is pretty important. Schedule 1 has a magic number that only the hardcore players know. Once you know it, you can instantly skyrocket how much money you're earning. That number is 1.6. This is how much you need to be upcharging your drugs in the products app before you sell them. For example, take this nugget of dick cheese. The suggested price is $64, but if we multiply it by 1.6, we can actually set our sale price to $102. This is so much higher than we would have normally been able to get with just counter offers. But wait, there's more. Certain customers will continue to send you offers for even more than the price you listed in the app. This means you actually end up selling for nearly double the suggested price. But let's say you don't like dealing with all of those dirty people, and you prefer to let your dealers handle the clientele. I have a tip for that too. Each dealer actually has an optimized list of customers. This minimizes the amount of time they spend walking back and forth between each customer, while also saving the people that love to overspend for yourself. Speaking of selling products, did you know that when you go to counteroffer, price isn't the only thing you can negotiate? You can actually change which product you're selling them. Instead of selling Sweet Miss Ming some of my high quality bud, I'm gonna get her hooked on hard drugs. Oh, you only have basic weed and you can't counteroffer different products? Well, let me introduce you to mixing, a guaranteed way to sell your drugs for more. Well, not really. Mixing is actually pretty awful. Each customer has a set amount of money to spend each day, and whether you sell them 10 weed at $40 each, or 5 weed at $80 each, they still only have $400 to spend. However, if you want to try your hand at mixing, there is a super useful website that can show you the best mixes for each stage of the game, and it even has a section where you can experiment. But let me tell you that even though mixing sucks, it's still important to mix at least one ingredient, and that's because of addiction. Addiction is the most important aspect of your drugs. It affects how much people are willing to pay, how much they're willing to buy, and how tolerant they are of your bullshit counteroffers. Simply mixing in one Viagra can take your granddaddy perp from 0% addictive to 85% addictive, and that's an insane difference. Now, let's talk about a different aspect of your products: quality. Quality seriously doesn't matter until you unlock the later, more upscale areas. People in uptown and suburbia will not buy your bunk-ass weed. They will only pay for the premium goods. But until you get there, quality doesn't matter at all, which is why Speed Grow is absolutely broken in the early game. Speed-Gro makes your plants grow crazy fast in exchange for lowering the quality a bit. However, the starting areas only need low quality weed, so you can spam Speed-Gro on repeat and have a ton of product early on. But now, you gotta sell all that product you just made, and what's the best way to do that, you ask? Late night deals. You should always schedule your deals for late night. The in-game clock pauses at 4 AM, which gives you an infinite amount of time to complete your deals, and you get a sweet curfew delivery bonus. Now, we all hate checkpoints. They're incredibly annoying. Next time, instead of running away, let the police look at your magnificent body. You can use your prison pocket and shove the drugs up your butt by clicking on them when the icon is over their slot. Like I said, the cops are really, really dumb. It's embarrassing for me to admit this one, but it took me a large number of hours before I realized this trick. You can actually unpackage your drugs. All you have to do is go to the packaging station and click the little arrow. It'll completely undo any packaging on the drugs and allow you to repackage them into smaller quantities if you need to do that. But who needs to sell drugs for money when there's a much easier way? Every single ATM and vending machine is filled with free money. Just grab the bat from the basketball court and beat the crap out of them like, well, you know, like they owe you money. Unfortunately, cars in this game are absolutely useless. Not only are they expensive, but they're just too slow. Instead, go buy the golden skateboard from our main man Jeff in the downtown area. It's just as fast as a car and it's so much cheaper. But there's something that's even faster than the skateboard. Did you know that drugs aren't just for your customers? If you mix Granddaddy Perp with energy drink and paracetamol, you get a mix that is sneaky, athletic, and anti-gravity. This combination gives you the maximum amount of speed and maneuverability. All you have to do is roll it up and smoke it. Whoever said you shouldn't get high on your own supply definitely didn't know what they were talking about. You can actually use this crazy combination on your skateboard to do a crazy map skip. For instance, you can go straight from the docks to the warehouse by jumping straight over the lake. There's a lot more funny skips like this, so if you all want a video of me breaking all of them down, leave a comment below. Here's a sneaky little one. If you're sick and tired of waiting till 6 PM to access everyone in the warehouse,
Let me in.
all you have to do is beat the shit out of them with a bat and drag their corpse to wherever you want them to stay. Once you go to sleep, they'll stay there permanently. But what if you don't have the warehouse unlocked yet? Well, I have a trick for that too. Go grab your main man Benji and punch the living daylights out of him. Once he's aggroed, lead him over to the warehouse door and he'll unlock it for you. No need to wait until you're a high enough level. If you're a hardcore gambling addict, you can also do something similar with the casino to unlock it before 4 PM. Put your back to the door, hop on your skateboard, and spam E as fast as you can. If you time it right, you'll be able to sneak into the casino and gamble before it even opens. And if you're not addicted to gambling, well, you should be. Gambling is good, and I encourage everyone of all ages to get addicted to gambling. Slots are actually a free money printer in this game. It just takes a bit of patience to hit the jackpot.
Let's go gambling!
If you didn't know, this game was made by a single person, which means there's actually quite a few bugs in the code. For instance, there is a massive jump glitch that honestly is a ton of fun. All you have to do is jump on the bus stop's bench and spam your jump key. Once you move to the side, you go flying. You can also do this on doors, and if you smoke something with anti-gravity, well, this happens.
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
Some of the most important people in this game are going to be your suppliers, and how much they like you matters a lot. Once you get enough reputation with them, you can stop doing dead drops and request to meet up, and if they really like you, they'll even hand deliver products straight to your properties. Although, they don't take cash for deliveries. You gotta use a credit card. And the easiest way to get friendly with them is to spam dead drops non-stop. You don't need more OG Kush seeds? Too bad. Albert wants your money now. Keep ordering them and eventually he'll give you the options to meet up or hand deliver the products. The easiest way to achieve this is actually just dropping a ton of cash in the drop boxes. It'll hold over and instantly pay the suppliers. If selling drugs isn't enough crime to keep you satisfied, you can also commit petty theft and steal from people. Once you sell someone drugs, just crouch behind them and steal it back. Get scammed, Peter. However, I do gotta warn you, if you get caught, this will ruin your reputation with them, so be careful. This one may seem like a no-brainer, but I honestly didn't even realize it was there until I was a dozen hours into the game. You can discard items that you no longer need by putting them in the red box in the bottom right hand corner, and if this isn't fast enough for you, there's even a console command to do your whole inventory. I had to add this tip because I see so many people not utilizing the loading bays when they play, and they're an absolute lifesaver. If you bring a Veeper to a loading bay, when you buy items they get directly loaded into your van. You can do this at both gas stations and at Oscar's store in the warehouse. Another fun tip about the loading bays is that you can set a handler to automatically unload your deliveries, but for some reason this only works at the bungalow. Speaking of handlers, they are so annoying. They constantly get stuck, swallow all of my product, and never actually do anything. If your worker ever gets stuck, simply knock them out and reload your save. Once you load back in, they should respawn with a decent work ethic. And last but not least, you can actually build inside of the properties you buy. I use this all the time for storage racks, but you can even grow weed in them if you're low on space. And the employees couldn't care less. Hey Kyle.
What's up, baby? Take me out to dinner.
But that's all I got. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it this far, you're an absolute G. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.